sparrow species, which are the birds that will swoop around really fast and eat insects out of the air. Blackbirds, you can see those, really close up if you just park right there and kind of hang out. But I've also seen a lot of different sparrow species right there. And I don't know if it's just because you have, kind of a marshy area with kind of a grassy area and then woods. It's kind of this transition of different habitats in a really small area. But I've seen a lot of different sparrow species kind of going back and forth through the grass to that marshy area.
I've seen woodcocks up there.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's.
And I remember one year a sora with little babies.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So what Ken's referring to is a sora is about this big. It's almost chicken size, probably a little bit smaller than chicken size, but it's a bird that resides in marshy areas like that. Hard to see because typically they're in reeds or very dense coverage, but when they do kind of emerge, it's a really
I remember they would just silently disappear.
Yeah,
all of a sudden.
They're ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Green heron, I've seen in that area as well. Some different shorebird species, so different types of sandpipers, which you don't necessarily associate with smaller areas like that. I think a lot of people, when they think of sandpipers, they think of the lakefront, but we will get spotted sandpiper. I've seen a bird called a solitary sandpiper, which is a migrant that's moving through this area over in that marshy area.
I might not have heard you before. Is there an issue going on with insects don't seem to be as...
Yeah, that's actually what we were just discussing. It's one of the big issues that's being discussed in the birding world right now. And I think one of the big reasons why the type of habitat restoration that's going on here is so critical is because the non-native species that tend to take over areas are not host plants for a lot of insects. So there's kind of this ongoing, I don't know if it's a debate or not, but I've heard different trains of thought in the birding world. Some people think that leaving some buckthorn in an area is good because it provides cover for birds. Some people think we should get rid of it all because it doesn't provide the food for insects that in turn birds feed on. So my personal opinion is there are plenty of native species of plants that provide both. They provide the cover, they provide the nesting habitat. More importantly, they provide that food source for birds, which is insects. And yeah, it's a big concern. We were talking about the swallow species. I'm not sure exactly what it was. It was probably a tree swallow that flew over. That family of birds that feed primarily on insects on the wing, seen some pretty steep declines in their populations over the last couple of decades, and loss of habitat is part of that, but a lot of people think that it's due to a decrease in the number of insects that are just available for them to eat.
So, how good is buckthorn berries for the birds?
So, birds will eat buckthorn berries, but some studies have shown that buckthorn berries do not have the types of fats. Maybe it's lipids. Does that sound right? Anyway,
yeah, sure.
They don't have the same content, like fat content, that native berries have. So birds will eat them, and that's a big reason why buckthorn spread so easily, because birds eat those berries and they poop them out all over the place. But berries from native shrubs have a higher fat content, which birds need in the fall to make the migration south. So while they'll eat them, and it is something that will fuel them up, it's not going to fuel them up as well as something that they evolved with over thousands and thousands of years.
Because we were commenting in the winter, there's all these, especially when there's snow on the ground, you'd have a buckthorn with thousands of berries on it. You wonder why isn't anyone eating these? And so we asked the ecologist, and he didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I know they eat them. They definitely eat them. You'll see poop that is, I forget the color that.
Purple?
oh, yeah.
Purple, the
Purple
color.
is
Yep.
steam.
Yeah,
Yes.
stains.
I've seen it like on snow. And,
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're not often, but sometimes where you just see all these spots in the snow.
Yep.
Oh, and my windshield when I park in a certain area.